good, Ja? You already know what it is, baby. This is T Paris, aka 80 Young Marvin Gaye. This rap shit, most original, most creative, most in tune with the times, and I'm sort of like an inspiration. And this is P's Perspective. But let's not waste no time. Let's get right into it. This week our topic of discussion is going to be titled Hip Hop. You know, this is going to be our 18th, matter of fact, our 19th episode. You know, at 20, that's going to be the end of our first season. We're going to take a break, you know what I'm saying? We're going to think about some things, try to remodel, restructure, you know, try to implement some new things to make our second season a little bit more, you know, entertainment, a little bit more powerful. But in the meantime, this episode is basically a follow-up, you know, from our last episode, which was titled Bridging the Generation Gaps. One of the comments that came from my brother Lo, which entailed, you know, a real long dialogue between the two of us, you know, via text, you know, the following day. And I thought that journey was so powerful that I will follow up with this week, you know, just stemming from his first comment. I want to read the comment to y'all, and we're going to get into a little discussion. My man Lo said, in my opinion, music has created the generation gap by not allowing natural artistry to happen and dictating what the masses consume, thus influencing ideas. We are now seeing the effects of 20 years of hip-hop generation, where building and adding on isn't a part of the equation anymore, which is where hip-hop was before Hollywood, so to speak. Now, in my last episode, when we spoke about it, I said that, you know, I agree with him to a certain extent, but myself being an artist, you know, I kind of find it hard to place all the negative emphasis just on hip-hop. Now, it's a lot going on right now. You know, we got the NBA Finals going on. We got Summer Jam going on. And we got P's Perspective going on. And rightfully so, I'd like to think that all of these situations, you know, at this moment in time, are hip-hop based. I'm not saying that they all stem from hip-hop or all started from hip-hop, but what I'm saying is right now, hip-hop plays a very important, you know, part of it. And, you know, with that being said, it's kind of hard to look at hip-hop being a detriment, you know, to our generation. And again, I do agree with some of what he said, but let's think about the NBA Finals for a second. You know, you got an artist like Drake saying, you know, cooking with the pot. Cooking with the sauce, Chef Curry with the pot, right? And you know, that's been resonating through the NBA for a little bit. I know y'all pretty saw on social media the video with him and his wife, and she talking about she the real chef in the kitchen, whatever. But that's hip hop, you know what I'm saying? And so that was just a little bit of fun, and it's because they trying to reach, you know what I'm saying, the masses. And which better way than to use, you know, one of the most powerful instruments right now, hip hop. I mentioned Summer Jam is on right now. You know, I've been watching Summer Jam, and Chris Brown and Fab, you know, they killed it. They both bringing out a lot of artists, you know, that might not be as relevant today as they were before, but, you know, they helped make hip-hop what it was today. 50 Cent, Method Man, Raekwon, Redman, Lil' Kim, who else Fab brought out? Mobb Deep, The Lox, you know what I'm saying? And so, again, you know, hip-hop to save the day. Now, I do want to say, you know, over the years we've seen a lot of negative things happen, and it has been, you know, because of hip hop. But I want to say too, you know, it's like if you put some animals in a cage, right? And not to say that we are animals, don't take it like that. But let's say you put some animals, you know, in a cage, you know, and you keep them there and you keep them held captive for a long time. They want to get out, they want to stretch their legs, they want to move around, right? But you're not allowing them to do that. And so when you eventually open up the cage and you let them go wild, you just decide that you want to put hip-hop music on. Is hip-hop to blame for the destruction that these animals might cause? Or do you have to take accountability for putting them in that cage? Now, the correlation I do want to make, you know, us as human beings, you know what I'm saying, they got us confined in these situations where, you know, it's inhumane sometimes. And so when we listen to this form of expression that we know is hip-hop, I think this is just exactly what I called it, just a form of expression. And while sometimes you do have violent outbursts in situations with hip-hop, you know what I'm saying, might get the blame for a lot of negative things that might have happened. The City College situation with Puffy, you know what I'm saying? But I like to think that sometimes it's just the negligence of one or two people, and it's not fair to put the the blame all on hip hop. But I would like to hear what y'all got to say. I want to hear more of what my brother Lo got to say, because I want to say this, as playing devil's advocate. The Bobby Smurder situation, we spoke about that a lot. I think that's something that we're not addressing in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that will be very detrimental to our community in the next 10 years. I want to say, next 10 to 15 years, you'll be looking at that as an example of what not to do. You know what I'm saying? In a hip hop song, if you're a young man of color. And it's very unfortunate because one of the first few amendments is freedom of speech. Our rights is to be able to say, whatever we feel. And it's unfortunate that the words, from a hip hop song, eventually led to an investigation. And unfortunately, this young man has been, in prison for such a long time, and nobody's really speaking about that. So in that aspect, I can say, hip hop has been detrimental, to our generation, because they're not teaching our young men and our women how to conduct themselves when doing business. Because you got to remember, hip hop is a business at the end of the day. Even though you see a lot of cars, fast women, and jewelry and all that, it's business. And when you conducting business, a lot of times people don't have sympathy for you when you take a loss, whether that loss be your freedom or it be a financial loss. We sign contracts, they tell you, what I'm saying, the biggest print giveth and the little print taketh. And so, you got to read them contracts, and you got to know that a lot of the stuff that's going on in this entertainment business is just that. It's just entertainment, I want to leave y'all with this, what I'm saying? We, as people of color, we got to stop pointing fingers, and start, looking at ourselves in the mirror, Let's take some accountability, for what's going on. Again, hip-hop is just our form of expression. It's our music. I'm not saying that no negativity has ever came from hip hop, but I'm just saying let's stop beating hip hop down, because before hip hop, a lot of these young men and women didn't even have a voice. They didn't get a chance to express themselves, and so many strong, powerful messages have come from our youth, via our music. Some of our greatest speakers, some of our greatest artists, and some of what I'm saying, I want to say our more knowledgeable individuals have come from hip hop. And when I say knowledgeable, I'm not just speaking about, worldly things. I'm speaking about things that help our young men and women grow. Hip-hop has been like a measuring tool, so to speak. A lot of people grew off hip-hop, But I want to hear what y'all got to say. Has hip-hop been a detriment to our generation? Is that the reason for the generation gap? If so, I want to know why. And if not, what I'm saying, I want to know how hip-hop has been a powerful tool for you. This is T. Paris signing off. Peace, perspective. Toast to the town, man. Peace.